That was such a shitty clap.
3,
What's up, everybody?
2,
Okay,
1. That's better.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the B team. Mike, how we doing over there?
Dude, Muller, you sound like
I feel like I got throat punched. This is my flu game going on right now.
and enjoy my day. Like,
dude, you sound so bad. Should I bring us in? I feel bad for you to even
I feel
speak
good
right now.
I feel good right now. I feel great.
Damn, Kyle. What happened?
I got throat punched. Got throat punched by this 9-degree weather.
Oh, the 9-degree weather? Yeah, it's bad, dude.
Bad.
It was really bad today.
Real bad.
I got outside. I'm like, God damn, son.
It feels like spears are flying into you when you go outside.
Yeah, I just feel like my body is just like I'm stuck between two walls and they're closing in on me and they're fucking cold.
Yeah.
I'm like, God.
And you know, it doesn't help that like I didn't sleep a lot because I stayed up to watch that dumbass Notre Dame game. Notre Dame sucks ass.
Yeah.
Dude, they're horrible.
They actually almost had it. They almost covered.
They
almost covered.
Almost covered, but they didn't. That team is a joke. A joke. I thought God was on your side.
Yeah. The Fighting Irish, that they were not meant for that stage. Listen, would Penn State have done the same? Who knows?
Who knows? No, I think Penn State would have made it a better game. I think Alabama would have made it a better game.
Yeah,
I think Georgia would have. I think Texas definitely would have. There's a lot of teams I think would have.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. I feel like Notre Dame just doesn't have the playmakers. Like I feel like they don't have the stud receivers and running backs. I mean, the one dude had a good game, but he got that touchdown garbage time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think their program itself, you're not really. I mean, I'm pretty sure Kyron Williams went to Notre Dame, correct? I think he went. Okay, him, and that's like I don't really know.
Ryan Clark's kid goes there.
Ryan Clark's kid, yeah, but they're more like when you're talking about like the feeder program and like what they specialize in, trenches, cornerback, like more so a defensive team and obviously O-line.
Well, look at where they're located. Midwest. They're getting all the big boys. All the big boys out there.
Yeah. So that's perfect for them. I mean, it's a highly touted school for those type of positions. But Ohio State, I mean, you got to give Will Howard credit. I mean, I feel like dude's a fighter.
He played a very good game.
He really did. Judkins, my God. Listen, I would be happy with both of those running backs, whether it would be in the draft or in a fantasy draft. You can't go wrong with either. Travion Henderson or Judkins. And then Jeremiah Smith next year. That's going to be your 1.01.
Dude, they pulled up a picture of Jeremiah Smith, and I thought that dude looked like Julio Jones. I swear to God, I like quick glanced. I thought it was Julio Jones. I was like, what the fuck?
So you have to be a junior to declare for the draft, correct? You must be a minimum year of junior year.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ryan, the dude from Alabama, Williams, he's gonna be a sophomore next year.
See, so here's my question: is it a junior, or is it like you got to be 20?
Yeah, I'd be 20, man.
Is that what it is?
You should be.
Because he was 17 this year.
Fucking crazy. Dude.
So he's not gonna be able to declare until he's a senior.
I don't know, man. I don't know how you just can't let that. I think your sophomore year you should declare and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
Why has it got to be a junior year?
Like,
well, what's the reason for that? Just because the age? Like contracted?
I guess because of the no, because NBA you can go after your freshman year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why doesn't NFL pick it up?
I think it's more of a physical development.
Yeah, that too.
Because like some of these high school kids look like they've been on HGH for the whole 4 years they were in high school.
Yeah,
but go down the streets of Liberty versus Freedom. Those kids ain't ready to go to the NFL, and you're telling me they're going to go to some D1 college next year and they're going to leave right after that? No, they ain't leaving.
Yeah. Also, probably the portal of people that like enter the draft, undrafted free agents. Like it's just like way too much to handle because that's again like 1 year before you're adding hundreds and hundreds of players to the portal and whatever. So I just feel like it would be way too tough for even them to get an opportunity. Yeah. So okay, that makes sense. But still, it sucks because you see these guys that you already know are going to destroy records and just absolutely dominate in the league, but you gotta wait. Like Jeremiah Smith is one of them. Ryan Williams is another. It's like fuck, dude. Like we gotta keep waiting for these guys.
It's one of those like in 2 years they will be at the top of your draft board, but they would also be at the top of your draft board tomorrow.
Yes,
if they were able to declare. It's very interesting. And just want to go back on the college football playoff here. You know, we were talking about how Notre Dame maybe wasn't the best team to have played Ohio State for a national championship, and you know, you look at the NFL, this offseason they're going to be looking at the seeding. Do we want it to be, by record, but the 4 divisions still get in? Do we want it to stay the same? College football playoff has to go back to the drawing board and look at that, because what they did this year clearly did not work. Giving everyone buys just because they want a conference isn't the way to go, because that it's very misleading. You look at some of these teams like, Georgia wasn't the greatest team coming in. Like Texas was playing very well. You had Oregon definitely deserved the bye, but when you're looking at some of these teams, if they went in order from 1 through 4, number 1 through number 4, I think you would have nailed this. If you just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then that's how you go in. And maybe 7 and 8 get bumped out, but the 2 like Boise State and Arizona State get in the back door that way. That's fine. That's fine, because if they truly are the best, they'll win their way to the final, just like Notre Dame did. But to kind of, in a way, screw some of these teams by making them play an extra week of football, I don't think that's very fair. I personally don't. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah,
Especially
I'm
college
with you,
kids.
bro.
This isn't the NFL where their job is to play in the NFL. They go to work in football.
Yeah.
They work out. They play football.
No,
They do other stuff on the side. But college kids, they got to worry about classes. They got to worry about their tuition. Some of them, like not everyone's just getting paid $1 million on the team. So these kids have a lot more on their plate. And then you're going to add extra travel, extra games. Like, I think the Big Ten's fucked. They're going to be done. Big Ten's going to disband again in 2 years. If you look at what's happening with the men's basketball, Mick Cronin hates flying to New York twice a week. Like that it's not going to last. The Pac-12 is going to be back before we know it. But I think college football playoff has to go back to the drawing board there and really give it a good look.
I feel like this has been an ongoing problem for the college football program for a couple of years now, just even based off like how the playoffs were operating at once, where it was only like 4 teams, and then they increased it to
because it was only number 1 and number 2, and then it went to the top 4, and now they've made it 12.
Do you like that they added more teams though to the playoffs?
Listen, I'm cool with it being 12 teams.
Yeah, I do like that.
I just think that the way the seeding worked, it messed it up. Like, I think if you want to crown a national champion, right, there's a reason we do these rankings every week.
Yes.
It's not so that when we get to the playoff, we're going to have the number 3 team in the nation be a 6 seed because they lost their championship game, or another team won a championship game, so you got to buy.
Yeah, and you got to give them
like
the credit.
It doesn't make sense. Like, if we all
like
can
Boise
look
State
at a
is
piece
the
of paper,
perfect example.
Yes, if we can all look at a piece of paper with all these teams on it and say that team's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would say probably 75% of the nation would agree on the top 5 teams this year. That's what it should be.
I just feel like they take account so much like into their record, like, and that's just the issue. Like, if you're looking at their record, even like a Boise State, same thing. Like, yes, they had a phenomenal record, but like deep down where they played and the team that they are, like, come on, man, they shouldn't have been number 3 overall when they got smoked by Penn State, and there were other teams that weren't even in the college football playoff that probably would have ranked higher than them.
Alabama would have ranked higher than that.
Bama should just be in every single year at this point. Like, you can't let these. I know what was 9-3,
and but this is what we're getting to, where it's like, well, people don't want them to be left out. Well, just be better.
Yeah,
be better. Like, when you get on that stage, don't lose. Because if you get to that stage and you play a close game, anyone can play a close game. Like, if you find your day, you could play a close game.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, look at Arizona State. But what did they do in the end against Texas? They lost. At the end of the day,
good game.
If we go very good game. If we go 5 years down the line, no one's going to remember that Arizona State Sun Devils go into overtime against Texas. All they're going to remember is Texas won a playoff game. That's all it's going to say on the sheet. Texas won a playoff game. And by then, they're probably going to win 5, 6, 7 games. So I think college football playoff has to go back to the drawing board here and really give it a good look. And thinking about what you said about the criteria to get in, and they look at the records, maybe we should be adopting the quadrant system that basketball uses. Quad 1 wins, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4. Because honestly, I think that would be good for college football.
I feel like they're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. Like, what is the criteria? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we are so blinded from it.
This was very much a guinea pig year.
It kind of was, dude. Like, we're so blinded from what is making this team this certain seed besides the record. Like, what's the criteria? What is the requirement for that team to be essentially a third overall seed?
Yes.
So we don't know it, and like I think that is the biggest problem. Because we should, as fans, we should know it. And you watch the committee watch these games, and I guarantee you, me and you and a bunch of other dudes drinking beer could probably put out a better ranking system than any of these old farts in the committee.
Yeah, and all right, so if we do
and I barely watch college football. I know it's an issue.
Exactly, and if we do quad one wins and losses and all this stuff like college basketball does, Notre Dame might not even get into the playoff because of that loss to Northern Illinois.
100%. And
So
again, I know it was early, but still, like they did go on a run. I would say they'd be on the back end of a ranking, like they'd be like 12 or 11.
No, absolutely, absolutely, because they were still 14-1.
Yeah, they won like
whatever they were, 12-1, whatever it was coming into the playoff, but. When you look at some of these teams that, they have those gimme games, in the long run, it's going to be better for college football and for the viewer because Ohio State's not going to want to, maybe they will because they're going to have confidence they'll beat Michigan, Penn State, some of these Big Ten schools. But you're going to have to schedule some SECs against Big Ten. You're going to have to schedule ACC versus SEC, Big Ten. These big schools are going to have to play to get those big wins because at the end of the year, if they don't have them, they're screwed.
Yeah.
Like if you have a shocking loss against Northern Illinois, Notre Dame, but because you're not in a conference, you don't play many of the big teams, you're going to lack in quad one wins.
100%.
But you're going to have a quad four loss. So you're probably going to get left out of the playoff. I think that would be better for the sport, especially with the direction it's going in terms of the money that's involved. Better for the viewer. And it's going to be better for the playoff in the long run. Because this year we had number 7 and number 8 playing in the national final.
Yeah.
That it had no juice. It had no juice. I don't know if it was because of the inauguration. I don't know if it was because of the football playoffs and all that stuff going on. The snowstorm that just came. I don't know what it was, but this game had no juice. I actually almost forgot about it last night.
Yeah,
I showed up after the first play.
But look at Oregon, dude. Like Oregon's the same. Like if you're the number 1 seeded team, and you have a gauntlet of people you have to go through, like.
Yeah,
I get it. You want to make
paired up with Ohio State and Tennessee.
Exactly. I get it. You want to make the good games happen, but that's for later in the bracket, not right off the bat. Like you're the number 1 seed. Don't you deserve to play a team that is back end ranked 10, 11, 12?
Exactly. So why do we even have the buys?
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's
at
just
this
scrap
point,
the buys. Let's have now Ohio State. Oregon should have been playing. Who was the last seed in?
It wasn't Arizona, was it? Arizona State? No. I forget. I don't know.
But whoever the last seed in was, I think it was Arizona State because they played Texas.
Yeah, it wasn't like Navy or
Texas
Army,
would have
right?
been number 5.
Okay.
No, Army and Navy didn't get in. They fucked the troops with that one.
Yeah.
But it should have been like Oregon against Arizona State, and like it would have been fair. It should have just been like the basketball championships.
Now, do you? Let's pivot here. So, if we're talking about the NFL playoffs, do you agree with how they're handling it as well, or do you believe that it also should be seeding based?
I think that, especially because we have the Super Wild Card weekend now, I don't think there's a point to be like the top 4 division winners get the top 4 seeds. I don't think there's a point in that.
I don't think they should change it all. I enjoy it because you have teams like Washington now. Like the NFL doesn't matter. Yes, it's different.
It's different.
You're not 17 years old in college and
there's way less
impact
on their plate. Like they're only there for their football. Like it doesn't matter if they travel 1,000 miles.
And every game matters at that point. Yes, I agree.
So I don't know. I think it's a slippery slope for the NFL to do that because then it's going to slip into should we even have them make the playoffs?
They
would end up doing something like this, and you would have a division winner being left out. I think that they should stay the same.
Yes, I agree.
It
would cause way too much ruckus. It would cause so much ruckus within the fan base of every team, the organization itself. Goodell would just try to fix it, would make it worse. You just have to leave it.
It would lessen everything that there is within divisions.
Yeah.
Those divisional rivalries would no longer matter because you just want to get as many wins as possible.
Exactly. No,
so
good point.
I think it would be bad for the NFL to do it. Very good for college football playoff to do it.
Now, do you think they will? Are they really going to make adjustments, or are they going to just stay the same?
The playoff?
For the college football playoff?
I think that, dude, they already have it in place with college basketball. All you have to do is implement that somehow into football. You have, what do we have? February, March, April, May, June, July. We have so many months that you could figure this out. You're telling me there's no nerd in that backroom staff at the NCAA that could figure this out? Like, look at that whole room that decides the playoff.
Yeah.
That's a joke, by the way.
I know.
That's an absolute joke.
I give them credit for, like, okay, yes, it's not what we want as fans or probably as players too. I give them credit for trying and actually switching up, but it's just like a trial and error base. Like, you just got to keep trying until you figure out the perfect solution. And I think this definitely was not the perfect solution.
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible, but like there were better teams that deserved a shot over a lot of teams that were in.
Yeah, and it's like both teams were 14-2 at the end of the day after this final, but it was number 7 versus number 8. Now, I don't think Ohio State was number 8 coming into this bracket. I think they were like 2, 3,
higher.
4.
Yeah.
So but that's what I mean. You know, like for the average fan to look at this and you see all the graphics and it's number 8 versus number 7, no, they're not going to want to tune into that.
No championship game should have more than a 7-point spread. The spread was 8.5. Like right there is a telltale sign. Yes, did I take it? Sure, and it was close, but it's pretty much a given on who's going to win, unless some magic shit happens.
It should always be a field goal game.
100%. Yes.
Touchdown at a max.
At max. Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know.
What's up?
It's very interesting though. So it's going to be weird to see where they go with this because I think they're getting a lot of backlash, a lot of pushback.
Do you think, real quick, like one more question here before we move off, what do you think for next year? What teams are you looking to be like these top seeds? Like, do you have your Ohio State at 1 for next year? Does Penn State maybe jump or fall? Does Notre Dame falls? What are your thoughts?
Well, Ryan Day just opened up a can of worms for the entire NCAA in every big Division I team. I mean, shout out to him for saving his job.
Yeah,
because that man 6 weeks ago was on the chopping block. He was, if he didn't win this game, he was out.
Mm-hmm.
But
to come back there,
you look at some of the teams. Ohio State paid $20 million for their team. Oregon had $20.3 million, and then I think it was Texas. I think Texas was up there in the 20s, and Notre Dame was also there. I think they were around 20 or 19. The blueprint's there. Look at the teams that made it all the way to the final. You just got to spend the money, but I think that's very dangerous for the NCAA. But they're playing within the rules. I think Ohio State will be number 1 again next year. They're going to return a bunch of guys. And they'll probably just reload with the money. I think Oregon's going to be back. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be next year, though. But I like their coach. I like their coach. What's his name? Lanning? I like him a lot. I think Oregon will be back there. I think sneaky. I think Miami's going to be there.
Yeah, because
that's
Carson.
Not just a homer pick, but I think people are underestimating Carson Beck and this Miami offense. I think this Miami offense is for real. Mm-hmm. They're losing what's his name?
Cam Ward.
No. I know they're losing Cam Ward. What's the wide receiver? Oh, my God. I want to say Hunter Renfro, but I know that's not it.
Whoa.
I know that's not it.
I don't know.
He reminds me of him.
Xavier Restrepo.
Yes.
Yeah, they're losing.
Hunter
Renfro.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, they're kind of the same player.
So, but they're losing him, so it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of the big teams are losing key players.
Look at me coming out with the name on it.
Really
Miami U football team.
That was really good. I've
been doing my research.
I want them on Dallas.
I've been doing my research.
I think they'll be there. I think Notre Dame's going to drop off.
Yeah, they will.
I think they're going to drop off.
I like their coach, though. I think he's a very good, like, fight for him type of coach. Like, I don't know. The X's and O's might not be there, but like when it comes to like being a leader, I mean, you saw his one speech against Penn State, like run through a wall. Like you love to see that as a head coach. I think he will get a shot to coach in the NFL. Will he take it? We'll see.
Yeah,
because I think he fits Notre Dame in a way.
Yeah, but to cap it off, my pick to win the national championship next year, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I think that their new quarterback is a beast, dude. He's a freshman. He's 17 years old, and he's built like he's 32. The kid's going to be unreal. He's like the new Ryan Williams.
Does LSU make a comeback at all? Like, are they ready to make a comeback?
LSU just got a kid from Freedom. I showed you
that.
No
kidding, really?
Yeah, I think I showed you that a few weeks ago. But I'm not going to air out everything he's getting. But my God, Mike, unreal what these kids are receiving. Yeah. You and I were living in a shack our junior year.
Yeah.
He
We were in the shed, bro.
We had you driving Uber to make some money to buy the beer and shit.
Yeah,
like,
dude. I was running DoorDash. I had my Pontiac Grand Am.
these kids are living in like full on mansions. They got nutrition.
They got the shoe closet and everything, and here I am, bro.
We played
I got
the wrong
fucking
sport. We were 2 years too old, dude.
I know. I hate
God.
that. We played the wrong sport in a lot of aspects, dude.
Yeah.
Golf is one of them. Fuck
We should have
me,
played
right?
golf, dude. We should have played golf. Wow.
You live and you learn, I guess, right?
Well, while we're on funny stories here, do you want to hear my naked woman
Yeah,
story?
dude. I was hoping you would text me this, so please.
All right, so I don't want to air out where I actually how this occurred.
Were you Philly?
No, I'm not gonna say where I was. Nothing. I'll tell you that after the show.
Okay.
So I'm dropping something off at someone's apartment, right? And before I left, I was told just be careful. She's kind of weird. All right, I think they're messing with me. So I go to the apartment, and on the door is a sign that says, "Knock first before entering. My oxygen's on. I might be naked." So I'm like, fuck, no way. They were being serious. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So I knock, and I hear her. I can hear the oxygen go. I hear her go, "Come in." So I'm sitting at the door. I have the package up against the door. I'm like this. I'm like, fuck. There's no way. I knock again, just so
Yeah, make sure she's
and I
dressed
hear
up.
her go, "Come in." I'm like, oh shit. So I crack the door up. It's like, "Hey, I'm dropping off your package." I open this door. Mike, I'm not kidding. Couch straight ahead. Thank God her legs were crossed. Not a single article of clothing on. This 80-year-old woman.
Oh no.
I threw the package down next to the door. I said, "Have a good day. I'm out."
At least you didn't have to go for the sign where you have the little pad. Be like,
Dude.
can I just get a signature here?
Dude, literally hanging out.
Oh no.
Nothing on. No socks, no hat, no glove, nothing. But what boggles my mind is
Was the house warm at least?
house was a sauna.
Okay.
A sauna. And let me tell you, she's not lacking in having knickknacks around her. She's got a shit ton of stuff just thrown everywhere. But
The house was steaming. The
Mike.
lungs were empty.
it baffles me how
Gotta get rid of the fluid.
I don't understand why the oxygen is connected to you being naked. I don't get that because listen, when I said bye, walked out, I saw the oxygen tank. My grandmom uses the same one.
And
she's clothed
Fully
all the
clothed.
time when she uses it. I don't see how the whole naked thing comes into this. Why do you need to be naked using the oxygen? I don't know. But scarred for life. And I drive past this building 3 times a week now. And every time I drive by, I have
PTSD.
flashbacks. Yeah.
Oh no, dude! I'm so sorry you had to see that.
Dude, unreal.
Did you guys make eye contact?
No.
Okay,
No,
because that would have been
was-
I would have immediately just all right, have a good one.
It was one of those I walked in and I opened the door. I said, "Whoop, have a good one." Walk out.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's ugly sight, bro. Ugly sight.
Couldn't believe it.
Can you go get the bananas on the counter for me?
Dude, unreal, bro.
Like, follow, subscribe, back to the show.
Why were you the one who had to deliver this package,
I was the only
Mr.
one.
UPS?
I was on.
What you order? What you order? Beer?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, she was trying to get active, bro. She was.
Dude, she got buzz balls and
Oh God, that
yeah,
shit's disgusting.
stuff. But all right,
Maybe that's why she's on the oxygen tank. She's drinking buzz balls.
dude, just disgusting.
low blow. Sorry, lady.
Disgusting.
Sorry, lady.
disgusting.
Very.
I
low
couldn't
blow.
believe it though. What if I was a 16-year-old dropping it off? That is a case on her.
I wanted to ask something, but I feel like this topic we should just move on.
Just whisper it. Whisper it.
Do you sleep naked in bed?
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Have you ever tried?
What?
Have you ever tried?
No.
It's kind of nice.
But aren't you worried? What happened to something
If something pops off,
Yeah.
you just gotta fucking dress up real quick and you gotta get after it, dude. I think about that all the time because, all right, I'll talk to the viewers here. Usually, I am almost fully naked. I'm wearing boxers.
No, that's fair. Yeah,
That's
I'll do
fair.
that.
Sometimes, fucking.
I think sleeping naked's interesting. 'cause
It's actually, dude.
I just feel a little. It's very freeing. I'm sure.
Dude, it is actually fantastic. which sounds crazy. I don't really care. This is gonna be hilarious because people will be like, Mike's fucking crazy motherfucker, but you are like free as hell. So, but like, I would not sit on my couch butt ass naked on an oxygen tank. Like, no, it's got to be time to go to bed. No. Like, I'm sleeping in my own bed by myself. But yeah, nah, if shit pops off, you got to be ready to go. You got to make sure you can be like, oh, like, it's like in Bill Burr. You ever see the, it's like the skit where he's like, you know, when you're in a hotel, like, you know, the worst thing you got to prepare for is like someone barging in and killing you. So like, let's say someone does, and like someone comes in with a chainsaw. You're like, everyone in their mind is like, everyone's in their mind, they're like, oh, I'm going to change, I'm going to get my bat, and I'm going to swing, and I'm going to be ready. And in reality, you're just making a weird noise like, and then you're dead. And that's in reality, you're like, bam, done.
I think you're actually better off being naked in that situation. Because if you're naked and you jump up and you're just looking crazy, I think you're more crazy than the chainsaw guy.
I think you would look crazier if you were not clothed.
You would at least save yourself some time.
If you were like out in public, like naked fighting, like okay, like not good, but like if you're in like Motel 8 or whatever, and you're fucking someone's ready to shit's about to pop off, and you're butt ass naked, they might think twice about it.
I think that, and also if you offer to help them, I think they believe you, and you could like go to the next room and then escape.
Like imagine just like
he's gonna be like, oh dude, this guy sleeps naked. He's just like me. Let's go kill some people. He's gonna go down the hall. You go the other way, you're out.
It's like
now you're naked in the streets, but
yeah, it's like a Country for Old Men where Javier Bardem just like comes around and like kills people, and you're just like butt ass naked. He's like, let me put this on your head. You're like, what does that do? Great actor, by the way. I don't know if a lot of people know him. Fantastic, one of the greatest movies I've seen. Yeah, and he's in Dune.
Dune's a great movie.
He's on Nakaib. I watched the second one the other day, and I'm like, dude, what a fucking awesome movie.
I watched both on the way to Italy.
Oh, yes. I watched one of the Dunes when I was on a flight somewhere, and I watched Dune, and I'm like, dude, why haven't I watched this? They're really fighting over spice, dude. Love it. Spice, a.k.a. just psychedelics.
Yeah.
It was written. I can't wait for Dune 3. I'm hyped.
When does it come out?
I don't know, but I'm stoked for it.
Didn't they just come out with a show?
Dune?
Yeah, I swear there's a show.
It's probably one of those shows that like talks about like each episode and everything.
No. It's like a real show. It's like actors and stuff.
I don't know.
It's on HBO.
Timothy Chalamet is dating
I don't
Kylie
think he's
Jenner
in it
now.
Is he actually?
Dude, did you watch when he was on the college football playoff? Like,
he's dating Kylie Jenner?
I think so, yeah.
I thought that, who's the guy that played Elvis?
Also Butler?
Yeah, I thought he was.
No, I don't think he
dating?
was. I don't know.
We gotta find this.
I know you've probably seen this. What is it? ESPN Game Day, where he was on like McAfee and whatchamacallit, Nick Saban. Dude was just spitting facts about college football, and he was on a heater. I'm like, man, I'm very impressed. I didn't think an actor would be this profound in football knowledge. So when I saw that, I kind of tipped my cap to him. I'm like, okay, Timothy.
Oh, Kendall Jenner.
He's dating. No. Bad Bunny's dating Kendall Jenner.
4 days ago.
Bad Bunny album, go listen, fire. Did you listen to it?
Yes.
Bangers.
It was good. It was very good.
Such a vibe. I don't understand a lot, but
Austin Butler and Kendall Jenner are casually dating.
I thought it was Bad Bunny. It doesn't matter. Why the fuck do we care?
We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. We've never cared.
Well, I guess I did for like 15 seconds, but then I'm like, why do I care that much? I shouldn't spend over a minute talking about this shit.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how there's a large portion of our nation that gives a lot of shits about who's dating in Hollywood?
I think for me, what blows my mind the most is all of these OnlyFans models and like how much publicity they get from like Instagram and Snapchat and all these people. And like the streamers is the worst one now.
How do you know?
Dude, because it's all, if you go on Snapchat, I just go in case someone snaps me, and like I'll go look at someone's story, like the Birds game. I want to see everyone lit in Philly. I want to see all my friends having a good time.
Yeah.
You like scroll down, you see all this stupid bullshit, and you're, oh man, it's awful.
I haven't had Snapchat in a year.
I don't use it, but like again, like
I fully just deleted it.
I don't really use it much either. But like,
I hated it.
I hate all social media, bro. But we have a podcast to run.
I only have social media for the podcast.
I don't even have TikTok, and when I'm on Instagram and I see all these people like, "Hey, I'm back on Instagram Reels," I'm like, you fucker, dude, how could you?
On TikTok, my whole feed is just like Shane Gillis.
Shout out to Shane Gillis, by the way, wearing a Jake's Bar shirt and the Joe Rogan pod.
That was good. That was good.
I saw pictures. I saw a Barstool Philly picture. I'm like, yes, Shane, yes.
Did you
fucking
see
love
his Under Armour commercial?
Yes, I've seen
Dude,
multiple.
so funny.
I know, he's the man. Were you the one who sent me the picture of Shane Gillis as Mark Andrews? Who was that? Maybe it was Lucas.
I think it had to be Lucas.
He sent me a picture of like Mark Andrews, but it's Shane Gillis
Yeah.
instead. Dude, all right. Did we touched on that game the other day, right?
We did. You want to
Okay.
get into the games?
Well, yeah, let's get into these
All right,
future
so we
games.
got-
Why not?
we got
Finally, we
Eagles,
talk about the NFL.
NFC.
Good stuff there. Sorry, we got to clip all that shit. I think it was
really
hilarious.
Good. That was really good. All right, so in the NFC, we got the NFC's championship game. It's the Eagles versus the Washington. I won't say it. Commanders.
It's electric.
Going to be a great game.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games
Gonna
right
be a
now.
great
I
game.
think I'm more excited for that than the Bills and Chiefs.
Yeah. Can I need to ask you something.
Go ahead. Ask me.
It really has zero to do with the game, but it's about an Eagles guy. I don't think I like Jason Kelce anymore.
He's turning into the podcaster, ex-athlete. Yeah.
No, but
I like him, but
I was cool with him being a podcasting guy with his brother and stuff, and doing the calling the games, whatever you want to do on Prime Video. But like, I just feel like he's trying too hard. Like, he's trying to be funny. He's going over the top. He keeps yelling. He's taking his shirt off. Like, no, you don't have to take your shirt off. It's Ryan Fitzpatrick's time.
yeah. He just wants to be involved.
It's
still.
weird.
I think he still wants to be involved in everything football based, and he just can't not be involved.
Yeah,
but
he had a great podcast.
Yeah,
now
he did.
Now I just don't like him.
I hate when Travis goes on. Truly, when I see anything Chiefs affiliated, and especially with all these players in the NFL now starting up the podcast, it's like, how many podcasts could just be out there? Okay, yeah, we're one of them, but we've started 4 or 5 years ago. I saw something. There was, Facebook has those memories. Mm-hmm. It was my nacho review photo.
Yeah,
it was 4 years ago. I'm like, damn, bro, we've really been putting fucking money and time into this shit. We've been doing this for a long time. But all the, you know what though? 4 years ago, there were no players in the league that would be doing these fucking podcasts. Now you got Micah doing it. You got the St. Browns doing it. You got the Kelce's doing it. You got Paul George doing it. It's just.
My problem with all of them is
Paul George is fine because there's not many basketball ones out there, but
no, yeah, and also isn't it just his friends and him?
It's just all the players and his friends, they're bringing guests and everything.
Bullshitting the whole time. The St. Browns one, Micah and CJ, you got the Kelce's.
It's you're asking for to blow up on Twitter and fuck up your organization.
They're just. I feel like they just talk out of their ass a lot.
Yes,
and they just try and say crazy stuff. They know it's gonna blow up, and they know that they probably shouldn't say it, but they still say it. It's weird. Micah tweeting that someone needs to take his Twitter away.
It's your typical barbershop conversation or locker room conversation. There's no there's no end game to it.
Have your podcast. Have it. I really don't care.
Yes,
but don't say make it actually useful.
That's what I'm saying. What's the goal of it? What are you just trying to attain viewership and just talk have a conversation no tomorrow? All right, we just talked about a naked woman today that you fucking walked in on.
Yes,
but at least we have a point of where we're going.
Is that the point?
I guess because we can have good conversations, not random shit. They're all right, name me your top 5 right receivers, and then it blows up on a reel. It's dude, we can do that here,
dude. What is the point of Jason Kelce's late show?
I don't get it.
When does this guy ever see his kids?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I didn't want to say it, but does he take care of his kids?
You know what? At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with his shows. I just don't think he's a good father. There, I said it.
Listen, I know you have 3
That's a
daughters
joke,
and you
Jason.
have a wife, but you gotta
you retired.
be a
Relax. Relax a little bit. Take a step back.
Yeah. That's his problem. He doesn't want to. He's got 3 daughters. Why would he want to take care of
He's
them?
gonna have a heart attack at the age of
We're
60.
gonna see Layman on a show one of these days, bro, and he's gonna be like, dude, is he father's kids?
That would be hilarious.
Kidding, Layman. We love you.
Hilarious.
It's a joke.
Shout out
Congratulations.
to you,
by
two
the way.
twins.
They're very cute.
While we have, actually, I'll say it for the end. All right, but let's actually talk about this game. Eagles and Washington. The Birds, they look fantastic right now. Quintana Bay's injured. I don't think he'll be back in time. Washington just lost their right guard, I want to say.
Yeah, he's done.
Or right tackle.
Yeah,
ACL.
one of their linemen. Good
he's
Pro
out
Bowler,
for
I
the year.
believe,
Pro
too.
Bowler, yep. So injuries are all over this field. Big injuries. Saquon is currently rushing for 160 yards a game, a tutty, and 15.5 receiving yards a game. Have we ever seen someone carry a team this much?
No.
It's insane what
He's
he's
up
doing.
there with the greatest of all time. I thought about it a lot when we were on the Zoom podcast, and I'm like, yo, there will be some scrutiny on that thought, but it might be true. And I know that in the Giants, when he was on the Giants, we didn't see greatness like Walter Payton and Barry Sanders had when they had their team.
Yeah.
But
You saw flashes.
In the era that we're in now, I said era. In the era that we're in now, there's more. It's more of a pass heavy. It's more of a pass heavy game. The game has completely changed from back in the '90s and the '80s with Walter Payton and Barry Sanders, where it was strictly just ground and pound football.
Yes.
But the difference that this dude is making on offense, he's the reason that they're scoring points. Let's be real here. Yeah, Jalen had a rushing touchdown, but he's not one of the better
was a great
quarterbacks
rush.
in the playoffs right
No.
now. Eagles fans could probably attest to this too. They probably agree.
I'm pretty sure he's averaging like 156 yards.
And you know
a
what
playoff
though?
game.
And
A playoff game in his career.
Exactly, but this is what I said. It doesn't really matter. Like I told this to Ethan, I told this to you. If you have Jalen Hurts throwing 40 times a game, you're probably losing, and it's not a good sign. He threw for 20 attempts.
Yeah.
And Saquon rushed for 205 yards. You want to win a football game, you got to just continue the fucking recipe. Follow the recipe, and it's consistently working. That's it. It's so simple. Yes, it might be boring, but you're winning, and now you're in the NFC Championship game. And against Washington, where he's done it before, why wouldn't it work again? Unless they're going to load the box up and let Jalen throw. If Washington was smart, they would either be blitzing most of the time or stacking the box where Saquon, you can't let that man do anything. Because Jalen, listen.
Too high safety.
Yeah. Just
Don't do what the Rams did both games. Single high safety doesn't work against this guy.
they were
You
getting
can't
picked
stop 'em.
apart. They were getting picked apart there. They had their chances, but they were getting picked apart.
The whole first half, they were going with two safeties. And then the second half, for whatever reason, they decided to go single high safety. And that's when he broke away like every other rush.
I think their problem is they were blitzing their backers too much. They were just straight on blitzing. I mean, there weren't no edge blitzes. Their corners weren't blitzing. They were just kind of letting their spy in a way where she could be watching Saquon and Jalen Hurts. Like, dude, you got to spy on Saquon. Like, chances are that Saquon's going to outrun you or he's going to muscle through you. But I think Washington, what they need to do is they just got to stack the box. You got to bring the linebackers down on the edge. You got to at least have an advantage, maybe 6-5 on players that are rushing. Because if you have Saquon Barkley pass blocking, you're taking away a weapon. Yes, if he swings or releases, okay, you got to figure it out from there. But you got to put pressure on these guys because the O-line is going to do what they're going to do. And Jalen looks hurt right now. He looks uncomfortable. He's not moving like he should. And once he got tackled from those two guys in the Rams, and he was wincing, and you could just tell.
Dude,
he handed the ball off every game after that.
Dude, Kellen Moore comes out right after that and does an read option.
Yeah.
And he gets sacked in the end zone. That was
You hate that, bro. That's happened multiple times where we talked about that.
It's insane. It's insane.
But after that, he probably handed the ball off, 18 out of fucking 19 times.
The other thing is
Fair, good.
they were in a not possession. They were in a position where they could do that, and they were running the clock down.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
it was working. To their credit, it was working.
Dude, they almost lost the game. It was so, I feel like we're talking
You could
about
argue
this
they
team,
should have.
It was really close. I mean, Jalen Carter exists, though, and phenomenal game again, but...
Yeah, I was thinking about this. Jalen Carter was in college, 2 years ago? How did anyone in college stop this guy?
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Because no one in the NFL can.
And somehow the Bears had a chance to draft him, and they traded the pick to the fucking Birds.
Shout out to
Ryan
you,
Poles,
Lucas.
okay, Lucas,
Shout out to
I'm with you there.
Lucas.
Ryan Poles definitely screwed up there.
Yeah.
But
No, I think the Commanders, you look at what worked for them when they played the Eagles. You just got to outscore them because your defense ain't stopping shit.
Yep.
That was kind of a trick question saying what worked for them because nothing really worked for them besides just the offense clicking. And Cliff Kingsbury, it's your time, brother.
dial it up.
Dial it up. Because let me tell you, if you make it to the Super Bowl, you could have the worst play calling game of your career, it won't matter.
Yeah.
It won't matter because you made it to the Super Bowl in a year that no one thought you were going to make
I
it.
was too early on the
Washington fans might not even catch the game because they'll be hammered by the time the game starts. They're going to be so happy they're in the Super Bowl. Don't worry about the Super Bowl, Cliff. Just call the shit out of this game and dominate on offense. You're going into Philly. It's going to be a chilly one, but there's going to be no snow. Play your game.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
Put the ball in Jaden Daniels' hands. Let him cook.
Man, he looks fantastic, bro. It's just watching that game against Detroit. He just looks so clean. Every single fucking play, his runs, his passes. Dude is super accurate. I didn't like that. Was the one quarterback coming into the draft. Lucas, again, like he wasn't that high on him. I don't think you were either. But like, I did not know what to make of him. I didn't know. Like, I thought Caleb was you can't miss on this guy, and I still think he's a guy that you can't miss on. He's going to lead the Bears to a long-term winning streak, let's say. But Jaden Daniels, I didn't know what to think. I'm like, I don't know. Like, he could be good. He could be bad. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
You know who did know? Schoen's son.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. That's a tough.
And
That's
Orlovsky, he knew
that's
too.
a tough clip for him.
Yeah, for the father, dude.
So
got outsmarted by his fucking kid.
A lot of people are saying that the turning point for this franchise was, the new ownership. You got Dan Quinn in there. You got Cliff. You drafted Jaden.
New ownership, definitely.
None of that is true.
I think the new ownership, 100%.
This team turned the corner the moment that B-Rob was hyping up his friend's big hat collection last season. That was when the team turned the corner. When he came back from being shot and he had the big hat collection. That's when this team turned the corner. People need to realize that B-Rob is the answer, and he's going to have a massive game against the Eagles. Just wait for it. You think Saquon's going to have a big game? B-Rob's going to have more rushing yards.
I will say, if we want to talk about, like, right now, they're in a position to win. I think.
Yeah, tell me how each team's going to win. We know how the Eagles are. Tell me how Washington's going to win.
How is Washington going to win? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. They got to fucking block. They got to block him, and they got Cliff has to be creative with Jaden. I think you let him throw in a way. Like, you want him in the pocket, but I think they should run a lot of play action because it gives the opportunity for him to run because he's going to outrun everyone on that defense. And I think you just got to find Terry. I think when it comes to your offense, you got to get your good guys involved. You can't be waiting where they have one target for one reception for 6 yards for the first half of the game. You got to get Terry involved because Quignon's going to be out now. So you're going to have Rodgers playing. He's going to be starting. Maybe Ringo is going to have some time too. Not sure, probably. But I think that there's a mismatch. I think there's going to be times where there's going to be help shaded towards Terry, and I think they're going to be doing those two high safeties, especially for the Eagles, and they're just going to let their front four just kind of manhandle the Washington offensive line. Yeah. They need to have a good game because we've seen it the last 2 weeks now. The Birds won the trenches against the Packers, easy win. They won the trenches against the Rams. It was close. They had a chance to lose, but at the end of the day, the defensive line won you that game, plus Saquon Barkley. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. That's what's working. That's what can win you the game. You got to find a way to get to Jaden Daniels. It's I don't know. And for the defense, you just got to play out of your mind. You got to find a way to limit Saquon's rushing ability. And listen, if he's getting passes on the side or whatever, different story.
Yeah.
But you got to find a way. But you got to make Jalen throw. I think that's the key is making him throw because he's hurt and he hasn't been throwing.
No.
So why not? Why not
make
be
him
different?
Have to run around.
Yeah, make him play.
Yeah.
Make him play. And listen, if you lose, who cares? At least you tried and at least you followed a decent game plan. Because Jalen Hurts is not comfortable right now.
There's no if we lose.
Huh?
There's no if we lose. We're not losing.
I don't. Yeah, I hope
Commanders.
not. Go Commies.
Go Commies.
Go Commies. What's rule number 5 there? Not too crazy about the Giants or the Redskins either. But you know what though? It's like
that's
the
Redskins.
That's the Old Testament.
That's the Redskins.
It's the Old Testament, dude.
It's
Listen, we
Commanders.
we have to adapt.
The Commanders have never actually won a Super Bowl. They've never been to a Super Bowl.
Yes, they have.
They've never been to an NFC
mind.
Championship game.
Yeah.
This is actually their first good playoff run. People need to remember that.
There's always that one team every single year that just makes the headlines, makes that run. Who was the last year that made a little fucking run? There was a random team that was like really good, and they were like, "Oh shit! Like, is this the team that's going to cause some noise?" But I can't think of it. I forget who it was.
Bucks. The Bucks cooked the Birds last year.
It probably was the Bucks. Not sure. They did cook the Birds. But no, listen, this is the Eagles' game to lose. I mean, I actually no, I can't say that. It's gonna be close. I don't know. I don't know who I'm taking. I feel like what Jaden Daniels has shown me has been impressive, but Saquon Barkley, what that last game, the dude's on a mission. He's on a mission.
Yeah.
Sirianni, by the way, all that shit that he would get.
Eagles fans are so dumb. So dumb. So dumb. You guys are the dumbest fan base of all time. You have the winningest coach in history.
Yeah, they do. I saw that.
You guys are the dumbest franchise.
You found your guy. Congratulations, Nick Sirianni.
It only took you 6 years to figure out you found him.
We were literally talking about him getting fired in the midst of the season.
That's because Eagles fans were telling me they were going to fire him.
Yeah, they're losing their shit.
They're a bunch of idiots, a bunch of frauds. And now they're going up against one of the best expansion franchises in the history of the sport.
How do you feel that the Commanders are now probably going to be a force for
I'm sure.
a while?
So, but this is the thing. We knew that they were eventually going to be good with Jaden Daniels.
I was just 2 years too early.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had the thought.
But I stand on my take last show. When Dak Prescott returns and the Cowboys are back playing next year, the Commanders aren't going to be in this conversation. They could barely beat the Cowboys this year. We have their number. We always will, no matter who's their quarterback, who's that wide receiver, who's their DC, who's their head coach. It doesn't matter. The Cowboys will always run that rivalry.
If
the Cowboys had Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb in that game that we lost on the last play, it is not even close.
My thing with the Commies, real quick, and we can move on here. They were in a win now mode, if that makes sense, which sounds kind of crazy. They got a lot of Asian guys on that team. Austin Eckler is one of them. Zach Ertz is one of them.
Wait,
and
did you say Asian?
Aging.
Oh, I thought you said Asian. I was like,
no.
like Zach Ertz is.
They have an
so
aging amount of players on their team, and they're gonna have to replace those guys at some point. But they just build. They got a lot of guys they can keep. I still don't think B-Rob is the answer. I'm not really impressed with what he got shot. Respect. I'm not really impressed with his running ability.
I think also it's just a little too obvious every time he's in the game. Like he's gonna run the ball.
It's just like A-gap. It's like inside zone runs every time.
Yeah,
I feel like he doesn't have anything else. He doesn't have like the agility and the quickness and the shiftiness. It's just like downhill runner. And like I feel like that offense, especially with Cliff, I don't think he suits it. I feel like they got to go get a guy in the draft. Like I think a Travion Henderson would be a perfect player for them. Where you have or Marion Hampton, where he's powerful, but he at least has a little bit more shift and like juke ability than Brian Robinson. Because Brian Robinson is just straightforward. Yes, he got the 2 touchdowns, but I just don't think that he works in that offense.
I think it really depends on what they see in Eckler next year.
Yeah,
if they don't think Eckler's going to be able to do it again next year, then you got to keep B-Rob.
He's a great change of pace back. Well, they will keep B-Rob. I think he's got probably a year left on his deal, but I don't know what Eckler's contract looks like. I think he got a 2-year deal, so he'll be back too. But still, he's a veteran. He's a change of pace back. He can catch the ball. Mm-hmm. That's fine. That's what you want.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know what they're trying to do with the power running back, and then obviously the change of pace back. Mm-hmm. But I'm not high on him. I'm just not high on B-Rob. Yeah. They could do better.
The run game is so elite. You know it's elite when your running backs coach is getting interviews for head coach jobs. Let's move on. Bills and Chiefs, game of the weekend. I know Washington and the Eagles is an NFC rivalry game.
That's the one.
But Bills and Chiefs, dude. Like, this is the one everyone's looking at. Everyone's pulling for Josh Allen. There is
me, bro.
There is no one outside of Kansas City that wants Mahomes and this team to get through.
No, this is a year. I know, cold take. Yes, the Super Bowl window closed. I was wrong. Okay, sorry. We got to put our hand up. It's just the Jets hatred. But no, this is their year. They got to do it. They already beat them once. They got to do it again. Mm-hmm. But the key to that game, no turnovers. Yep. You turn the ball over to Kansas City, they most likely will score. And you cannot have that. I think Kansas City's probably a dog in this game.
Kansas City's favored -2 right now.
They're favored -2.
Dude, they're 8-0 at home. They're 15-2.
Fair enough, but hey, I mean, Buffalo beat them. They beat them bad last time, and I just feel like they're younger and they just have more juice. They got more juice, and I feel like the Mahomes juice is not the Mahomes juice, but the Chiefs juice is running out this year. I just don't think they're going to three-peat this year, and that's why I've been very hesitant about taking them. Even though I took them against the Texans stamp, but I don't know. They just can't. It's got to be whoever turns the ball over more is going to lose the game. All in all, I think the Bills right now, they're playing such clean football, and they're looking at Josh Allen like the Eagles are looking at Saquon, and you just got to let the man cook. The defense has been playing spectacular on that side of the ball. You got to find a way to get Mahomes. You can't let that man scramble. You got to make sure that Worthy isn't going for deep touchdowns. That's another thing. And then the run game, that's fine with it. You're gonna live with it. The front four of Buffalo right now, they're playing for something, and they've played excellent against Baltimore.
Milano looks fantastic.
But, dude, when he was hurt last year for Buffalo, big loss for them. He's come back and he's looked better. Yeah. So that dude is going to probably be spying and he's going to be blitzing a lot. I don't think he's going to be in coverage much. I think he's going to be on the line of scrimmage or he's going to be blitzing most of the time.
Difference maker.
Yeah.
He's a difference maker. Also, I want to give a shout out to DeMar Hamlin. He is playing like he is alive right now.
He is indeed alive.
Playing very good, very good football. So I think he's going to take care of Worthy down the field, personally.
I just don't. This is a big moment for Worthy, man, and I don't know if I think D-Hop is probably going to get a little bit of action today or on that game because just of his veteran presence. But big game for Worthy in the fucking. Well, it's going to be at home, but I don't know, man. Listen, and it's going to be an Andy Reid and Joe Brady battle. So Andy Reid's going to be dialing it up. How are you going to stop him?
Yeah, Joe Brady's one thing you want to look at here is Baltimore's tight ends had a very good game this past week. I know Mark Andrews had the drop.
It's likely season, dude.
No,
it's
time. I know that, but I'm saying that the tight ends as a whole, that whole room, had a very good game. Mm-hmm. Now you're looking at Travis Kelce. You cannot let the tight end beat you this week.
Nope.
You cannot. You cannot do what Texans did and let them have like 11 catches for 117 yards. We cannot do that. If you do that, you will lose this game.
I'm going to really pivot off this. I would take Andrews on the Jets, especially if they somehow move off of him. And after that game, you just got to take a chance. Why not? The fucking Commanders did it with Zach Ertz. The dude's 34 years old. Yeah. Mark Andrews, we haven't had a tight end since Dustin Keller era. Listen, Tyler Conklin is ass, okay? Let's be real here. Every Jets fan tries to hype him up like he's some fucking guru at the tight end position. No. He's fucking garbage. Go get a guy like Mark Andrews, who probably needs redemption and is probably getting death threats at his door in Baltimore, Maryland. Bring him to East Rutherford, New Jersey. Get a tight end.
Oh, because that's much better.
Oh, it's not. But, hey, that's what you get when you drop a 2-point conversion and you fumble where you look like the point guard dribbling up and you got cookied. So bring him in. Isaiah Likely, tight end 1 season for the Ravens. Lamar likes him more anyways. Yeah. Make the move, Aaron Glenn. Go get him. You like that?
That well said. Well said. All right. Before we get out of here, let's do our 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Then we can talk about Aaron Glenn.
Okay.
If you want to.
Yeah, I want to talk about
so
head coaches.
Eagles versus Washington.
Are you working today?
Yes.
What time?
Later.
Okay.
We're good. Ready? Eagles versus Washington. 3, 2, 1. Washington.
Eagles.
I mean, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, here's one that I don't know what's going to happen. Because I know where your heart's at with this one, but I don't know what you're going to pick. Buffalo versus Kansas City. 3, 2, 1.
Buffalo. I gotta ride. I'm telling you, this is the year the Chiefs don't win it. I even if they make the Super Bowl, I still don't think they win it, unless the Commanders. Then I think they do. But I think the Bills. This is their year. This is where you're circling the wagons. They're feeling themselves right now, and Josh has something to play for. He's gotta get the monkey off his shoulder, and he's gotta win this game.
Yep. Is the monkey on the shoulder or is it on the back?
Monkey on the back.
Why did we say that?
It's just a hassle, I guess. I don't know. It's just it wants to grasp onto you and not let go. It's like Kyle Shanahan, dude. I thought it was a monkey on I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I'm looking it up. That because some of these phrases make no sense.
Okay, you know what? It is monkey in the back because there is a liquor that I sell called Monkey Shoulder, and that is probably why I keep getting messed up.
Let's see.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Definition of a monkey on one's back.
Okay, monkey on the back. Monkey Shoulder is a whiskey, though.
But here's
or it's a scotch. I'm
here's
sorry.
The definition of it. A problem, anything trying, burdensome. Also, an addiction to a drug.
Yeah, my drug is betting the Jets. That's the monkey on my back. No, I'm kidding. It's actually being a Jets fan.
We didn't do that one time this year.
Bet on the Jets?
Yeah.
I would never put them as my mortal. No. I did take some over-unders with them, but no, never. Can't. But all right,
all
so
right, if you want to get in there and Glenn, go ahead.
All right, so real quick, I want to talk head coaching. Ben Johnson to the Bears. I said it at the start. I think that is the spot he's going to go to. Lucas sold me on Jacksonville. I'm like, all right, I could see that too. Listen, he's now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Congratulations, Chicago Bears fans. You have won. And now they might bring in Dennis Allen for DC. They're looking good. That big moves by Ryan Poles to bring these guys in. Today, Aaron Glenn, today's Tuesday the 21st, I believe. Aaron Glenn is interviewing with the Jets again. Obviously, I don't think Flores is going to I guess he's not gaining traction. That is my number one. It was Vrabel, but Flores was my number one. Aaron
Dude,
Glenn.
what's up with Flores, man? Like, he made that whole issue, filed a lawsuit, but then like every time he goes to interviews, he's just like left to the side.
I don't get it. And the fact that he is not a top option for the Jets is really just dumbfounding.
He's got to be the worst interviewer of all time.
Dude, but like you look at his track record. I mean, he was a stud with the Dolphins. He was a winner in Pittsburgh, of course, because they was over 500. The Vikings, same thing. One of the better defenses in the league. Yes, they kind of shit the bed in the playoffs, but when you talk about a coach to have in the locker room that will play for their guys and will not take shit from their players, I think that is the perfect guy that the Jets need. Aaron Glenn is more of a players coach where he can actually have a common ground with the players, which I like. He doesn't have the head coaching experience that kind of throws me off a little bit, but he does have a winning culture every single time he's moved up the ranks and has won. But
here's my thing with the experience stuff, because I hear this a lot. And they're like, "Oh, but he's never been a head coach." Blah blah.
That's why I'm okay with it though.
But if we just keep hiring head coaches that get fired, like what are we doing? 100%. There's a reason they got fired because they weren't good at their job.
And that's why I thought Flores was a really good option, because when he was a coach for the Miami Dolphins, they were a force, man. They were really good. And yes, Stephen Ross is a scumbag and wanted to tank on purpose, while Brian Flores here is pretty much playing for a job and an opportunity. Like, shout out to Flores for that, dude, honestly. Like, I know we always talk about, like, oh, we should be tanking, blah, 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 but, like, when it comes down to it, the players want to win, and so do the coaches, so you got to really give them credit here. Stephen Ross, dude's an asshole, but I don't know how the Jets really didn't at least interview this guy a second time. I will say this, if they let Aaron Glenn leave the building today without a contract, he will get signed by the Saints or some other team like Jacksonville, and then they're going to have to pivot. But I think Aaron Glenn wants this job just as much as Rex Ryan.
The Saints are going to get Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Because he's only interviewed with the Saints and the Bears, and he clearly didn't get the Bears job.
Crazy enough, I think him to the Saints wouldn't be a bad option. I think the Saints have just been in so much like turmoil recently.
The not last only couple that, of years. But let's think about it. Louisiana home cooking just fits Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
And that big-ass stomach of his.
Yeah. And in that division, too, anything could happen as well. Again, I'm high on Tampa Bay, but you could still win it with a guy like Mike McCarthy. I mean, you've seen it with the Cowboys. He went 12-5 for like 3 years straight. So it's not a bad option, but I think
the only thing is he doesn't have a quarterback there. Like Derek Carr, but like is he
Spencer Rattler?
I guess Mike McCarthy could make it work with a Derek Carr. He had Aaron Rodgers all those years.
Yeah. They have pieces. I think they have pieces on that team, but they're just missing the most important pieces, in my opinion. I think Chris Olave going down, like, it hurts them.
They need to get a wide receiver too.
They got to get a wide receiver too. They got to build a defense. I feel like the defense they're getting old too, and they just need work. How much longer does Cameron Jordan have, and Demario Davis and Tyrann Mathieu? Like, they just have to.
Been around for years.
Yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu, I feel like he gets hurt every 5 weeks.
Yeah, I think he was pretty healthy this year, but I just don't
feel like he gets concussion every other week.
Yeah, they just don't have the players right now. I think the personnel and the development, like, they're really missing on their picks, in my opinion, except for like Olave and Rashid Shaheed. Like, they got playmakers. I just don't think Dennis Allen was ever the answer, and I think their offense just had zero identity whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, Aaron Glenn, if he leaves the building, he will not be a Jet head coach. My guess is he will be the Jets head coach, which I am happy with. Who they bring in or who he's going to bring in to be the DC and the OC, I don't know, but I hope it's good. And I think they're also interviewing Lance Newmark, I believe his name is. He was the GM of the Commanders. So,
Okay.
I mean, why not? Shit. I don't know what they do, man.
Have
I
you
haven't
guys
even
hired
been
a GM yet? You haven't.
Nope.
So I feel it's a weird situation because I've always been against organizations hiring
a head coach first.
Head coach.
I'm
and then
actually
the GM.
for it with this team right now because I think
Well,
Glenn.
Woody runs the team, so it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. I think having him come in first is going to attract GMs to at least work with Aaron Glenn,
Are we sure that Woody Johnson's not going to pull a Jerry Jones,
which is what?
be the GM?
Oh God, no! Please,
I don't want to put that out there in the universe, but Mike, I
Don't
think
say
it's
that.
we should see that is on the table. If he has not hired one yet, and they've had very good candidates come in that want to be at the Jets,
that would not happen. Don't say this shit. Don't put
you're
the bad
saying
juju
it,
out there.
it would not happen, but it could.
It's
happen.
not going to happen.
Could it
No
happen?
way. He has no fucking
Be
clue what
honest
he's
with you,
talking
could
about.
it happen?
No, I don't think it's going to happen. They've
You don't
interviewed
think
so
it
many.
could, but could it?
Okay, like yes. Like, can I win the lottery? Yeah, I could win the lottery, but is it going to happen?
yeah,
no.
no.
Am I going to win the Powerball?
There is
Maybe.
a better chance that Woody Johnson is your GM next year than you winning the lottery.
Could I potentially get bit by a shark if I was in the ocean? Yeah.
There's a
Is
better.
it probably going to happen? No.
I'd put money on Woody being your GM while you're standing next to a great white in the ocean.
I lose it. I listen. I would never switch fan bases. I am too fucking deep
Wow,
into
we're
this
going
shit.
down this route.
But like,
You're born into it.
I was born into it. But if somehow Woody Johnson becomes the GM of this team, I might have to go the Rob Lowe route and just wear an NFL hat and just
No,
enjoy the NFL.
Mike, I'll teach you how to deal with it.
Alcohol and liquor, maybe.
Step one.
Alcohol, beer,
Step one.
cigarettes. I'm kidding.
Burner.
Burner account. Yeah, I already have one.
My burner got into a heated battle with Marcus Spears.
I love that.
Yeah. Heated battle. Multiple. We've gone back and forth twice on two different
How many
topics.
battles do you think these guys get into?
I don't know. But my thing is, over the last 48 hours, ever since the first Marcus Spears one, I've had multiple people mistake me for the actual player that my burner is.
Oh no.
And someone thought that I was the person that. Yeah.
All right. Should we get out of here? We talked
right.
a lot. It's probably
Yeah.
like more than an
Yeah,
hour.
let's get out of here.
Good stuff, guys.
See ya.
Couple of weeks left.
Go
Like, follow,
Commies.
subscribe.